still exist in this town. So that's how like
crazy.
in the past they are. Yeah, but
Stuff.
I think we've rambled enough, man. I think we need to actually get into this week's news and like what's been going on.
I think we do. I think it's that time.
And let's start off with some modern hardware. Yeah,
I think
some
we
good
should,
old fashioned
We talk a lot
handhelds.
about the old stuff. Let's talk about some new stuff.
Heck
Ladies
yeah.
and gentlemen, we start the year off with a handheld article. I mean, any other way? Should we started any other way? It's just
It looks
insane.
good too. It looks
Does look good.
clean. The images, yeah.
Let's get into it. The MSI Claw handheld, hands-on. It's more significant than you think. This is from Jacob Roach over at Digital Trends. Pulled this article. MSI is entering the handheld arena, and its debut is more significant than you might think. The MSI Claw doesn't look dissimilar from the Asus ROG Ally or even the Steam Deck OLED, but the specs underneath mark a significant departure from handheld gaming PCs. Looks like Jacob had a chance to try one of these devices at CES 2024, and it's definitely a contender. Bolstered with a new chipset, a comfortable design, and a software designed to tackle the issues with Windows on a handheld, this might be the portable gaming PC to buy this year. Most significant difference with the MSI Claw is the chip it's using. Basically, every handheld we've seen over the past years uses an AMD chipset, usually the Ryzen Z1 Extreme. However, MSI is introducing Intel to the world of handhelds. This device includes a Core Ultra 7 155H, which is a 16-core chip from Intel's new Meteor Lake lineup. It has a ton of CPU cores, but the Core Ultra 7 155H transforms into a gaming device with the integrated ARC graphics. Claw piles on top of that with built-in Intel XeSS support, allowing you to boost performance of demanding games with AI super resolution. So Jacob only had a chance to test a couple of games, Assassin's Creed Mirage, which appeared to run at around 30 FPS, and Sonic Superstars, which was smooth enough that it could have been ran at a full 120 that the screen could display. Notably, he didn't find a frame rate overlay in the menu. I mean, just pause there for a second. It's pretty nuts, Mike, playing 120 frame games on the little handheld. But yeah, I mean, just the pictures, it looks pretty sleek. Doesn't look too crazy in terms of design, but I mean, it looks like a design that works. So
yeah, I think simplicity matters more than anything. I like the further one behind it. I don't know if he's referencing the Legion Go by Lenovo. No, that's the MSI logo. You see it? Yeah. There's tons of vents, probably for like keeping it cool. I wonder if that like helps performance too.
Yeah, I mean, you would think so. Of course, peak performance is only one aspect of the handheld gaming PC. MSI says it focused on battery life with the Claw, packing a 53 watt-hour battery that it says is capable of 2 hours of battery life under a full load. That may not sound impressive, but it's about 25% higher than what we've seen devices such as the Lenovo Legion Go. Thermal solution is interesting too. The entire back of the Claw is covered in mesh vents, helping the device stay cool and quiet under load. And sure enough, in the demo, the Claw was both cool and quiet. Jacob said he's going to need to see the handheld in action outside of CES show floor, of course, but it's impressive based on early impressions. In the hand, the Claw is most similar to the ROG Ally. It's mostly flat, so you grip it between your palms to keep it steady. This is unlike the Steam Deck, which has a chunky handles, as it allows you to grip it with your hands rather than bear the weight on your palms. He said he prefers the Steam Deck approach. I mean, I think it's kind of teach your own, right? Like, I think some people probably like that flatter design. Some people probably like the chunkier design. It
really just depends on the size of your hands and like ergonomics.
Yeah, and I think like the Steam Deck, right? Steam Deck's not Steam Deck, but the Switch is more like a flat design, right? It's the stock Switch.
It's very flat.
It's just like
like I actually got some new ones for the holidays because they're on sale. They're big now. If you put them together, it's like the size of an Xbox controller. It's huge. I know. I've always wanted. I want to get those Joy-Cons where it's like the full grips. It's like nice. Oh yeah, I got those. I'll send you a link, dude. Yeah. They're awesome.
It's not quite on the same level as the ROG Ally, however. MSI's handheld is a bit heavier at 675 grams, while the ROG Ally sits at 608 grams. It would be hard to feel that weight outside of a side-by-side comparison, but it might add up over an extended gaming session. And I mean, just look at the yellow LEDs. Look pretty sick. I just love the RGB thumbsticks, buttons.
Yeah.
The button
really
font
like
kind of
where
reminds me
the
of that old like PlayStation kind of font.
I like where they have so you see how they have kind of like your start and select buttons, your menu
Yeah.
options, and then maybe there's a volume button on the far left. Let me switch over to a cleaner view. No, they're like start. It's really hard to tell what the options are
Yeah.
on both the views, but I like where they are and how close they are to the screen because to be honest, man, I don't ever press those buttons. So to have them near where like the primary buttons are, I could accidentally press those, and that would be incredibly annoying.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, it's again, I think it's personal preference for the most part, kind of what size and
Yeah.
weight you like it. I honestly like for me personally, I always like a heavier device. I don't know, there's something about like weight to like a phone or something like that. I just like
Oh yeah, you
not like
feel
super heavy,
it's
but like
indestructible.
it's
Yeah,
just dense. You know, it's like when a device is
yeah,
dense, I'm like, they packed a lot in here. Let's see what they
yeah.
got.
It's like my Thrustmaster controller. It has no battery. Pick it up, it is a rock. It's like
Yeah, dude.
just heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the
made of
mouse is
metal.
probably one of the few exceptions where I'm like, I want something kind of lighter,
Oh yeah.
but everything else is kind of like
Even then, my mouse is kind
with
of
a
heavy, but
with a
I
bulk.
like it this way.
Yeah.
A little bit, like a little weight, not too much that I'm gonna like toss it off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I mean, most of the devices you get a device on like Wish or like or like Alibaba or
Yeah.
something, it's gonna be like it's if it feels light, it's because it's probably cheap. Anyways, the base of the Claw is Windows 11, but MSI layers on top of its redesigned MSI Center M. Here you can manage the various aspects of the device like fan speed, peak power, and refresh rate. You can also install and launch your games, keeping you off of the Windows desktop. One unique aspect MSI has over other handhelds is that you can install Android games through MSI App Player, which is also included. It's a nice little feature. There's some Android games on there like that. And you
Why
get your
not?
controller right there. You ain't got to hook anything up. I like it.
That's a good idea.
MSI says the unit is tested with the unit that Jacob tested was an engineering sample, but it felt surprisingly snappy. A handful of games installed on it launched immediately, and the dedicated buttons for MSI Center and the game overlay popped up in less than a second. It felt remarkably smooth, but the quirks of laying software on top of Windows usually appear after some extended time with the device. To be expected, it's Windows. We're not perfect out here. Yeah. Decent amount to go through. So the Claw is an impressive screen as well. Doesn't hold up quite as well to the face of the Steam Deck OLED. It's 7 inches, 1080p with a refresh rate of 120. Pretty much identical to the ROG Ally, which is to say it's impressive, though not on the level of a proper OLED panel like Steam Deck has now. Which I feel like most like smaller devices, that OLED's nice. You know what I'm saying? Like
It is very nice.
it's too nice.
It goes kind of a long way, I think. Other handhelds I wish got up to that like 4K OLED level, though. But hey, take what you can get.
Yeah, for sure. Claw also supports Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4. Probably most people don't have Wi-Fi 7 routers yet, but hey, it's there. It's cool to see. Kind of, they're looking ahead, trying to support some of the future feature sets. I'm gonna skip a little bit ahead in the article. MSI says that it will have 3 versions of the Claw. One will have a Core Ultra 5 at 512 gigs of storage, and for $700. The 2 models based on a Core Ultra 7 will be 512 and a terabyte of space, respectively at $750 and $800. It is pricey, so we'll need to wait and see. Till we've had a chance to benchmark the device, see the Intel chip takes to hang with the most cost-effective Steam Deck and more established ROG Ally. Won't have to wait long. MSI says it expects the device to be available sometime in the first few months of the year. Maybe around March, maybe April, maybe next month. That'd be kind of crazy. Just like drop it next month.
That'd be kind of sick, yeah.
But yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on over at the convention, the SES.
Yeah, CES, man. It's
going on all weekend. So for people that are listening to us, go check out what's happened this week.
It's always cool to see it's cool to see the cool looking tech, but it's also cool to see the just off the wall, oddball like things companies try to do. It's just funny.
Yeah, some of it's like a marketing ploy, I think. Like, let's just do something kind of ridiculous that nobody really cares about or asks to get into the papers.
Yeah.
Like Razer right now is out here making ergonomic. Is it ergonomic or oh yeah, it's haptic feedback uh chair.
Yeah. So like,
So
feel in your
like
chair.
that's kind of cool, but
Yeah.
why? You know, like
It's like that's something I really want to try though.
oh
I'm
yeah,
curious
for
to see.
sure,
I
dude.
gotta see what that's like. But would I
It
own
actually
one?
was like
I don't know, but
no, I wouldn't.
I want to
But it
try it.
actually reminds me of this is gonna be so oh dude, the content is gonna be great when the ergonomic chairs come out. Or not the I keep saying ergonomic haptic feedback chairs come out. So tangent. Have you seen like the Counter-Strike videos where people decide to like tie their game into a giant compressor
I think
underneath their
yeah, I
desk
think I know what you're
where
talking
they have like a
about.
mouse and it's like you'll see the person with an op in Counter-Strike go like running around and like once they shoot the whole monitor like
Yeah,
so you know
yeah,
imagine that but
yeah,
it's also with the chair and then they put like an bag or something in
yeah.
it get
It's like
launched
yeah.
backwards.
Or it's like the Flash. They do a flashbang, and it's an actual
Oh
blinding
yeah.
strobe light. It's just like you can't see. Yeah, those are too funny.
Oh,
Oh man.
dude. So back to the handhelds, though. How do you feel about MSI? I think they're a good, reputable brand, and they make good hardware.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious to see if they're gonna stack up to what like there are 4 or 5 other companies right now
Yeah.
that are
Just about.
already in the game.
They are having
So
success, right? So it's like,
yeah, there's a
market
market.
getting crazy. Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm always here for handhelds. I think now it's like it's cool to see handhelds come back, especially when I kind of like doing all like the research and kind of what I've seen from people taking like older handhelds and like try and make them more modern day with better displays and stuff like that. It's like stuff like
Yeah,
that's cool to
yeah.
see. But it's also just like, I mean, you look at this. I mean, this is just a $700 computer that they can carry around. Like
It really,
you could
yeah.
probably get emulators on it, and you can like do all that stuff. And it's kind of, I would hope to a certain extent customizable. And it's cool to see just kind of have like, because like you look at this and like first thing that comes to mind is like this thing could probably emulate like every handheld game known to man.
Oh,
So you
easily,
just literally buy
easily.
that, and it's not only modern day gaming, but it's also you can like expand and play the games you may have missed from the past. So I think it's cool to see handhelds again. Just like literally having a renaissance over the past year.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fascinating to see. Um, again, I always feel like Nintendo is just the ones that are kind of like pushing the envelope. But when they came out the Switch, the only real upgrade they've done is the OLED,
Yeah,
actually. But to see like the now it's the Steam Deck came out, and then it's like okay, the Rogues come out. Lenovo decided to jump in. It's like okay, I didn't know Lenovo was this.
yeah,
So that's really interesting to see the progress of all these manufacturers just deciding to take their shot. You know who I'm really surprised hasn't jumped are companies like Samsung or Sony or LG. Like these companies that are typically making tablets,
yeah,
this would be a good transition for them, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Like, why isn't that
Yeah.
happening?
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes you wonder.
tablets and phones. It's like I feel like that's the natural trend. But hey, whatever. As long as it's a good product and it makes sense. I'm all
Yeah,
for mobile gaming.
yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. But yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, MSI, like you said, reputable company. So I think it does have a serious chance of being a contender, and I think this is going to be kind of the next, handheld we see. That has good sales. So I'm excited for sure.